Hi, my name is Austin. I'm 23 years old, and this is my 1993 Nissan 240SX convertible. I've had it for probably about 3 or 4 months now. I ended up actually just posting one of the S chassis groups, asking if anybody had a coupe or a convertible for sale. A guy in the Duke named Brad, he ended up messaging me, went, checked it out, everything turns out, and picked it up from there. Needed a lot of work. The body kit wasn't fitted the best. A lot of the wiring was a mess, so it was kind of a fire hazard. Ever since I swapped it, did a couple fixes myself, knock on wood, but this car's been doing me great for the last 4 weeks now. I was looking at Nissan 350Zs, 370Zs, because they're similar to the S chassis, just a little newer, but nothing really felt like home like the S chassis did. I always had Hot Wheels laying around the house. My biological dad, he was really into cars, same with my uncles and everything, and playing Need for Speed, Midnight Club, you always see an S chassis in there. They're always the cheaper cars that you can buy at the start of the game, most mods, kind of just took that into real life. How many cars would I say I've had in total? I'd say probably somewhere in the 20s. About 10 to 12 of them being S13s alone, and then a couple odd ones. I had a 2000 Focus that was slammed on coilovers. The 2010 F-150 I had. That thing was a pile. My 96 Toyota 4Runner that I currently drive now, and my 88 MK3 Supra. My very first car, that would have been a 1994 Mustang GT 5-liter. Well, I drive this car any chance I get to. Whether it's raining, sunny out, nothing putting the top up can't fix. I do have the help of a couple close buddies. They always come down, lend me a hand to help finish what I need, but doesn't see a shop for anything other than some tire changes. This year, I just want to focus on making it drive right. I need to go get it tuned. I have an overfueling issue at the moment, so got to figure that out. Do some body work, some wrapping on it, and make it look like a different car. So a couple things that have been done is the carbon fiber trunk. Put these D-Max smoke taillights in. It had a rear diffuser before it got ripped off. Broke it in numerous pieces from sitting too low. Caught it on a manhole cover, and it was just super unfortunate that it ripped out. Have some blast pipes in the back. These flares have taken quite a big beating. I'm gonna definitely have to order another set here soon. The Sylvia front end I feel is necessary for any S13 coupe or convertible. For wheels, I have these Roto wheels. They're 17 by 9, -13 up front, and 17 by 9.5, -16 in the rear. I do have some 1-inch spacers up front and some 1 1/4 in the rear just to get that little bit better fitment here. Never really been into these style of wheels before, but now they're one of my all-time favorites. Some Z32 front Brembos, the nice lip, smoked headlights, smoked corner lights, and some hella horns that one of them broke. The nice thing about this car is that I do have air cups. Doesn't give you a lot of clearance, but it ups it a little bit. There's no back window in it at all. Previous owner kept it down for the last 4 years with this nice little cover that it has on here. The little bit of interior work I did to it to kind of have the whole black and purple theme going. From the reupholstered S14 seats. I did some vinyl wrapping on the interior trim, as well as the banner. I did a heads-up display dash and speedo on it. I'm tuned with an Apexi Power FC, so I just keep my handheld controller down here. I got the NRG quick release and hub. I have my AEM gauge and just a glow shift boost gauge and another AEM oil pressure gauge. Just make sure everything's running top notch. So for the engine, standard SR20, like pretty much every other S chassis on the road. This one has been refreshed a little bit. It has 750cc injectors, I believe. It has a Garrett 2871R turbo on it. Just some Greddy piping, you know, make it a little bit nicer. Did a wire tuck to clean up the engine bay a bit. Megan Racing strut bar just to keep it a little bit more structurally sound. Other than that, it's just another S13 with an SR in it. I'm gonna have to go with kooky. Lamborghini or Ferrari? I would go with a Lamborghini. I want to say no, other than some cool noises, but they might have a little bit of a performance gain. I always resort back to cars. There's something about them I can't escape from. Best car movie ever made? I would have to say it would be Ford versus Ferrari. The most overrated car in the car scene? That's gonna be, it's a hard one. It's either between the Civics or the BRZs. Yes, there is for sure. This thing is too low for our roads as it is, but if I could go lower, I probably still would. Had a couple thumbs up from the police. Never been pulled over in it yet, surprisingly, but they don't seem to hate it too much over here. Favorite would be the S13, then I'd say the S12, S14, then S15. I'd rate the SR20 as probably one of the better ones now that I have one. Then I'd say the RB25, RB20, and then a CA. A couple of the main spots would be the strut tower. They like to rust out a lot. Frame rails rot out on these things quite frequently, and as well as in the inner wheel well area, does seem to get some rust in there. If you have a good running and healthy KA in your car, I recommend keeping it. If it's on its way out, then I do recommend going somewhere along the lines of an SR20 swap or RB20 swap, even. They're easy enough. The nice thing about the SR20 is it's all pretty much plug and play aside from some wiring. I've noticed with SRs, the valve covers do go a lot. The head commons aren't as common from my knowledge. They like to burn oil a lot. So with your SR20s, run some thicker oil. I'd say probably about a 15 grade seems to be good. I blew up my first SR on 530, so they pop rockers constantly in these motors. So if you get some Tomei stoppers, you're one step ahead of the game there. Always buy quality parts. I can't stress that enough. Tried cheaping out a few times and you just end up doing twice the amount of work later on. SR20s, on a reliability scale, I give them probably about a 7.